start running, because running equals losing fat. That's in our mind. You get new sneakers. You get a new pair of sneakers, put them by the door. You go get a gym membership. Just give me a gym membership. Show me where the machines are. First thing you do is go to the cardio machines, because running equates with losing fat. So much stuff left out of there, and especially women. We go to the cardio. Where's your treadmill? I want to lose fat. Men, Arnold Schwarzenegger, my chest, not legs, not anything functional, not caring for the shoulders or the back, which are the common injuries. I need to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger, get my chest up for the summer. Women want the stomach and the arms. Men want a stomach and a chest. That's it. That's all people are concerned about. Not functional, not longevity, not how long can I do this. So that's what our eyes are geared for. So inside the machine, if you're by yourself and your boyfriend is not taking you, your boyfriend just got out of the pen, is not taking you to work out. You go and you look for the leg press machine, and you look at other people, what they're doing, whoever the biggest, most muscle-bound person is, you want to do what they're doing. So you get into the Smith machine. You know what the Smith machine is? Right? Yeah. So the Smith machine, instead of you loading up the big barbell by yourself, on a Smith machine, you can be assisted. You can put plates on either side. You step under, you have the bar on it. Hopefully, you know better not to put it on your neck. Many people do not. And put that sucker right on the vertebra, right on the spine. Right? There's little nuances. How are you supposed to know to put it down here? Right? And how to adjust it so it's not on your spine. You go and step under. Usually I'm always talking about the pelvis, is right here. You step underneath the Smith machine. Smith machine is on your vertebra, and your butt is like this. Every time you go like this, you're jacking up your spine, because now you have it at low. So here's my pelvis. My lower back is not supported. Right here, and this is on my vertebra, and I'm not even going down the full range of motion. Waste of time jacking up your back, your core, and you're just not getting anything out. Now, is it heavy? Yes. Are you going to start sweating? Yes. So you're thinking, I got a great workout. That's just one example. 2, for women inside of the leg press machine. You're sitting in there, right? You're sitting inside the leg press machine, one of the most fanciest machines in here, right? Your glutes are there. You loaded up heavy, right? Because you want a nice looking leg. What about my butt? Where's my butt? Butt is not being used. Right? This is all I'm doing. I'm doing leg curls, so I make it heavier. I can't feel it, so I'm going to make it heavier. Let me look at the girl with the biggest legs, or the guy that's looking most like the trainer that looks like Arnold Schwarzenegger. What's he doing? Load it up. And as you're going heavy and heavy, the other trainers are giving you a high five. Right? Wow, right. Look at all that weight she can lift with her legs. Right? But it's mostly here. Your glutes are not involved. They were already out of the picture because you're sitting down all day. Right? So then we have, I want pretty arms. So let me go sit down and do one of the most famous exercises to get in shape at the gym. This is the average woman's workout. Bicep curl. Bicep curls, yeah. Yeah, but I'm gonna the heaviest, the fittest looking guy. Look, whew, make it heavier. Ooh, I can hardly get it up. Your core, you're not getting sweaty. Your core is not engaged. Your form. Where in life do you just sit there? Do you sit down and you lift it heavy? Where in life do you do that? It's not real movement. You are lifting up a weight, but it's not functional movement. What do you do this in real life? As heavy as possible. Where? So it doesn't make sense. So I'm saying this is one of the reasons why we don't get in shape, and people will have no problem taking your money. Let's see where else we do yoga. I've had numerous women that have injured themselves, gotten permanent injuries from yoga, from not understanding how to, like when we're doing our push-ups and I ask you to place your hands through the pinky, index finger, and the thumb, pressing your hands into the floor, pressing the body away from the floor to not doing downward dog anything, but activating your scapula, right? Which is your shoulder blades, which is your shoulder girdle, same thing. You activate, if that is very weak, we wind up going here, right? And the push-up is going here. Your neck and your neck and shoulder is going to be jacked up because you're not stable, right? Then add to that, head is going here. So this is part of my spine. Head is going here. Head is going here. I'm doing the movement with poor form, and my spine is not in integrity. accident waiting to happen, and we're not hitting the muscles. So if you don't have proper form, you just not, what do they say now? It's not giving what it's supposed to have gave. You showed up, you put the time in, you're going every day. Actually, you're exacerbating imbalances and injuries that are likely already there. So everything that we cue, tuck your hips under constantly, pulling your belly button into the spine, squeezing your glutes, all of that makes a big difference. Is this making sense what I'm saying?
Yes.
Right? There are numerous reasons why we're going every day, sometimes even paying trainers, and not getting everything out of in terms of fitness, because fitness is gonna, to me, change your shape. Then with the nutrition, grossly underestimating. So one thing I'm gonna say before we get started this morning, I'm prepping the menu for classes and also for the retreat. So I'm giving some like little treaty treats. So made like some waffles, some other things to texture, all sprouted grains. Now, you know, I'm gonna tell you the truth, right? I'm gonna give you the inside track, because whoever gets up early gets the prize. I watch how my body responds to these different things, and I'm always reminded of why, over these 13 years, why I don't prefer dehydrated things. They're very tasty. To me, I consider them more recreational, and maybe a big transition for most people. It's 100 times better than what you're gonna get outside and on the street. Number one, on the good side, as soon as I eat them, the truckloads of fiber. Right? It hasn't been so devitalized. The sprouted grain is different from me just taking a dry grain, making a bunch of flour, right? And then making a pastry, right? I notice those things are more clogging. I watch if my digestion slows down. I watch the feel of my saliva in my mouth. I tune in all the time. And this is sometimes with women, when we think of writing the Minute Diary or writing the food journal, I'm humbled by the autopilot. The autopilot of our ego, the judgment is so powerful that we don't want to write it down. However, more so than just thinking of judging, if you just perhaps think of like you're following yourself around with a recorder to watch how your body's responding. I feel dry in my mouth, right? I could feel it's still a truckload of fiber, but it's not the same moistness of the fiber. Also, if whoever's preparing the dehydrated goodies and stuff out, they're usually not sprouting the grains. They're usually adding a truckload of nuts. Most meat people are not going to take the time to soak the raisins. So I can feel the moisture content. I can feel the stuff drying my body out. It tastes good, but I still consider them more recreational foods. And I will also watch the trends of how my body responds in terms of water retention and my elimination on the scale. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So as I'm preparing treats for y'all, I'm going to tell you the truth. I'll give you recipes, but even in the 7-day nutritional reset, even the plantain chips, which is not fried, no oil, whatever, we're not meant to eat plantain chips all day. But I'm humbled by the autopilot. With the living food, you will start to come to present and notice, like, wow, that was delicious. You'll notice like the tendency to eat. You'll want to eat 2-3 servings. Added sugar, salt, fat. So you can start to be humble, like, wow, it's not hunger. You can notice the autopilot. I am humbled by the autopilot. I'm going to tell the truth, because it's a big nuance as to why we're not, quote unquote, losing weight, because we are losing our deficit, if you will, because we're not present. We're eating a lot more than we actually need. Our metabolism is not where it was when we run around the park and we didn't have to go to work and all that other stuff. Women, our bodies are meant to store fat. We will store fat we will store fat very easily due to the constitution of our bodies. Does that make sense?
Yes.
And usually if you break off a whole tray and it's in front of you and you're eating mindlessly, do other things, you're more than likely going to eat you're going to eat the 4 servings. It's not to make us bad or wrong, but if you just notice, what is our tendency to do as human beings, moving at the pace that we move? It just is what it is. Right. So like I said, once you can come and you can really assess what something is, you're more likely to come up with an efficient, effective, sustainable strategy. And that's what we're looking for, not just more books, pills, and powders. There's a reason why we're not able to sustain the results. There's some blind spots that are there. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah. Definitely.
Right. Yeah.
And I see that.